Walid, thank you so much for joining me. I want to kick off by asking you to tell us how you see the situation in Lebanon today.
I hope it won't be an endless war like the war that started in Gaza and then in the West Bank, Lebanon. I hope so, but I have no clues unless we imagine a political solution. The political solution is, according to me, to try to go back to the Armistice Truce Agreement, Armistice signed in 1949 by the Lebanese state through UN with the Israeli state, 1949, which established regulations of no war but no peace.
Yeah.
I hope so. But
does that mean that you advocate for a normalization of relations with Israel?
no, we had our relationship during decades was we are in state of war, not state of peace, but a, how should I say, a truce, not active war.
Yes.
A truce.
But in order for diplomatic efforts to take place,
Yes.
there'll have to be some kind of normalization, no?
No, but you have to. You've got to have a UN, effective UN working. Now the UN after Gaza is paralyzed. Okay, we count on whom? Who is the arbiter? Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody. And who can stop Netanyahu? The US? Maybe. I don't know.
How telling was it that the attacks on Hezbollah came just one day after the US representative was in Israel having meetings to calm the situation?
It means that they don't care about the US representative. They just don't care. I mean, you're speaking about Hochstein.
Yes.
He doesn't care. The Israelis, Netanyahu, doesn't care about him. He dismisses any effort, although minimal, of US administration to try to appease a little bit, to find a cool it down.
Who does this situation benefit?
He said, Netanyahu, that's the whole issue now. He said that he is willing to change the whole Middle Eastern order. What does it mean? That's the question.
And
He's now planning a whole scheme for the Middle East, okay, replacing the old scheme that was established by, how should I say, starting Balfour, starting Sykes-Picot. Now Netanyahu wants a new scheme.
Like new friends?
No. Wars everywhere that could end up in, maybe, I hope not, total chaos of the area.
Yeah. When you think of what happened on October 7th and the aftermath, in your mind, was it a mistake for Hamas to attack Israel?
Look, to be frank with you, I supported the Hamas action. Because
On October 7th?
Yes, yes. And I was criticized by many ambassadors, amongst them the American ambassador. Okay. But the people of Gaza, 60% of the people of Gaza are refugees from Palestine of 1948. And the settlements that were attacked, plus the lies, you know, remember the lies that, well, children were beheaded, and it proved to be a lie. But this land is for them inside, imprisoned for the last 76 years, is their land. Now, did anybody, Hezbollah, Hamas, the international opinion, the international world, predicted that this war will be endless? I don't know.
In light of that, was it a mistake, given what we're seeing on the ground today and what's coming now to Lebanon?
Easy to say it was a mistake. No, easy.
Yeah.
I don't, after all, you have Palestinian people. I mean, erasing them from the map, like what is now being done in Gaza. Later on, trying to force them to emigrate towards the East Bank. And King Abdullah made a very brilliant speech at the UN. Somebody's listening? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Lebanon, well, the question is now, if Netanyahu will use the same, he's already using the same, that, well, I want to erase Hamas. Now he's using the same rhetoric as for Hezbollah.
Yeah. Over the years covering Lebanon, I've often heard from various groups that they would welcome Israeli action to take out Hezbollah.
Okay, but I mean, also over the years, we have a decade or 2 decades of Israeli occupation of the south of Lebanon. We have in 1982, the Israelis came to West Beirut, invaded Beirut, then they withdrew. So I hope they will reconsider local parties, reconsider past experiences, and even Netanyahu reconsider invading part of south of Lebanon. Part, I said, I don't know where, but part. He's saying that, or his defense minister is saying that.
Yeah.
Gala.
What is Hassan Nasrallah's next move?
Next move, he will just he stick to his policy by answering back, trying to hurt Israel. Up till now, he sticks to his policy where he was precise in one of his interviews, the last one, that, well, I will stick to hit military bases, which is justified maybe. But I mean, in war, any mistake can happen from both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the fact that the Israelis are not only hitting military targets, are hitting anything. Now you have 500,000 Lebanese displaced.
Yeah. Tell me this, Hassan Nasrallah's plan or strategy, as you say, do you believe he still gets his orders directly from Tehran?
Look, he's part of the so-called groups that are related to the Iranian, in a way, empire, from here to Yemen, Syria, Iraq. Yes, I don't see him distancing himself from the Iran, and I don't buy this policy that the Iranians have dropped him.
So Iran hasn't abandoned Hezbollah, in your mind? With that being said, what happens next? Because it seems as if Mr. Netanyahu is not going to hold back.
At the same time, I mean, although the blows were terribly hard, losing high-rank allies or officers, okay, but I mean, it's not easy also to see that, well, again, for the 3rd time or 4th time, I don't remember now, the whole population of the south are being displaced to go to where?
Yeah. Tell me this, how much has Hezbollah's capacity to do damage been degraded?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not a military expert. I have no idea.
But we've seen
the excuse, the official excuse of the Israelis, they want to bring back the citizens to the northern part of Israel, to the settlements and to the cities. Okay, we can say the same thing. Also, we want to bring back. They were 100,000, now they are 500,000. Yeah. Our citizens to the south of Lebanon. This precludes an agreement via the United Nations. Truce agreement or ceasefire or 1701.
Yeah. Who can push the Israelis to that kind of agreement? Because you're saying that the United States has no leverage.
They should have, but they have no. They don't want. They don't want. Now the main concern is the electoral race, and blood is becoming. I mean, hundreds of thousands of casualties are being massacred here.
Yes. So the United States, that's obsessed with the presidential race, is of no help in this situation.
United States, the so-called international community, but this whole international community is just paralyzed because the UN is paralyzed.
Yeah. And that works for whom? To have a paralyzed UN?
Well, he has a free hand. Mr. Netanyahu and his people have a free hand on the area.
Yeah. Tell me this. When you think about what happens next, is there any party in Lebanon or any leader in Lebanon who you see powerful enough to effect a kind of truce with Israel?
We have to work on that. I don't see any party now betting on Israel. But I mean, we are divided, of course. We have to work on the minimum of national unity and be able, maybe through the French envoy, Le Drian, to elect a president, because we need a president. We cannot stay like that with a caretaker prime minister and this void in administration.
What needs to happen in order for Lebanon to get
We
there?
need to elect a president without preconditions, a consensus president, adequate one, good one, to be able to represent Lebanon officially everywhere.
Yeah.
And to take care of the country.
Yeah. Do you think that we need to see a much younger political class?
Well, much younger political class. Now it's, do we have time now to look at a much younger or older?
Well, they did the same thing in the United States, and now we see what we see. The president deciding halfway into the campaign that he's not going to be able to continue it. So there is an argument for having younger people in office,
okay,
no?
Okay, but now I think it's a trivial issue. In the United States, I mean, be it a younger or an older, it doesn't change anything. The machine there is totally different, whereby you have interest groups, financial groups controlling the real power there.
Yeah. What does this mean in your mind for Lebanon today in terms of that election? Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. Is one going to be better than the other for Lebanon?
I don't see any change for us, or for the Middle East, or for the Palestinians, because we've seen their past rhetoric. Once Kamala Harris, she mentioned the necessity of having a two-state solution. Okay, but I mean, the two-state solution is becoming a joke. Why? Because where is this Palestinian state will be erected, will be placed? In the West Bank, you have 800,000 settlers there. Who is going to displace or tell them, go back to home? This area is our area. This territory is our territory, Palestine.
Yeah. What about the United States, the United Kingdom, all the Western powers who have warned their citizens about evacuating, about leaving Lebanon, while at the same time, at least in the case of the United States, continuing to support Israel's war machine with billions and billions worth of weapons?
They care about the safety of their citizens. They don't care about us.
Are they hypocrites?
Yes, they care about the citizens of the safety of the citizens. Where is the active action of the United States, United Kingdom, or others? I mean, even also the Russians said the same thing, but the Russians are becoming, how should I say, not powerless, but not effective in Lebanon or the Middle East because of the war in Ukraine.
Was that war a mistake in your mind?
Maybe he was dragged to this war, Putin. Maybe because he thought at the beginning that, well, the Ukrainian regime will collapse. It didn't collapse because there was preparation for this trap years ago.
Yeah. So you think he was misinformed?
I think so. Somebody, I mean, all great leaders are sometimes misinformed.
Yeah. And you think he's a great leader?
A great leader, I'm saying that not in the sense of being great. I'm big leader, sorry.
Yeah.
Big leaders. Okay.
Who's
a great leader now?
Anybody?
No.
No.
The area of big leaders like Charles de Gaulle, maybe Kennedy, maybe, but even Kennedy fall in the trap of the Tonkin affair.
Bear Tonkin.
Right.
Tell me this: there have been lots of talk about China getting somehow involved. Do you see that as something that's realistic?
Do you see Chinese military bases in the Middle East? The Middle East is surrounded, invaded by American bases everywhere.
Yeah.
They have one small one, I think, in Djibouti. That's it.
But China's been instrumental in certain deals between Saudi Arabia and Iran, elsewhere. They have shown that they can be an interlocutor. Is that something you see ever happening in this case?
No, I've seen they were instrumental in trying to cool down the war of Yemen, Saudi Arabia. That's it. And they have succeeded,
yeah,
in a way.
Again, back to Hezbollah and their capacity to wage war. Are they in a better position than they were in 2006?
Can't tell you. I don't know. Who knows?
What's your sense?
They are still there. They are still there. Okay, but I mean, they have suffered great casualties, but they are still there.
Yeah. Still dangerous.
I mean, this is also from your point of view, they are dangerous. From some Lebanese point of view, they are not dangerous. They are defending Lebanon. So it's subject to discussion.
I don't have a point of view. I'm a journalist.
Sorry?
I don't have a point of view.
No, I'm just answering you. You said dangerous. I'm saying for some Lebanese, it's a little bit different.
Talk to me about what happens next. You say that this is a country that needs a president. This is a country that needs some kind of truce
Yes.
with Israel. And also this is a country, frankly, that you and I have discussed this many times, is in the midst still of an economic crisis.
Yes. Okay, but I mean, let's go back to priorities. Re-establish the truce of 1949 that regulated the relations between the State of Israel and the State of Lebanon. 1949. I think it's still valid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that something that the Prime Minister is working on?
He can't do it on his own if he's not supported unanimously by all the parties of Lebanon, and he can't do it without the election of a president. He should be part of the complete administration, legally speaking and officially.
So everything that's been happening has put again a major strain on Lebanon's resources. Walk me through the humanitarian effort that needs to happen now.
We need mattresses, we need medicine, clean water. What else? We need space to host, of course you have the schools, but you have to equip the schools to host tens of thousands of displaced people. We need international help. In this field, yes, we need international help, because
Yes.
we cannot expect any international help except maybe in this field.
Yes.
Maybe.
So we're talking about specifically World Food Program.
World Food Program, yes. Yes.
Yeah. And they've been in contact. They are moving, or?
They are moving slowly, but I mean, also the war is not moving slowly. The war is moving rapidly.
Yes.
It's a race against time.
Yes.
Race with time.
And given where we are today in terms of the economic crisis, Riyad Salameh.
I mean, the economic crisis happened. People were bankrupt totally, public sector. People, thanks to the non-establishment of the capital control, non-appliance of the capital control required to safeguard the economy, well, people got rich, terribly rich. So it's not the issue now. Who's going now to apply the regulations of the IMF? Nobody. Now it's war.
Yes. And who is at fault in your mind?
Everybody.
Every party, every leader.
Everybody. That's an old, long story, everybody, because nobody can say, I'm not responsible. Everybody will accuse the other. So let's say anybody will accuse the other side. Let's say anybody.
Yeah. Talk to me about that level of fault. Do you feel a sense of guilt at all for your role in Lebanon's past?
Well, we are, you know, Lebanon, it's composed of sects, of confessions, of clans, of power groups, okay, and this has been going on for decades, maybe a century. Okay. Some people, some Western embassies with local people thought, well, they might bring a new class, political class. Well, bringing a new political class to power without abolishing confessionalism lead to nowhere.
Yes.
We are still in the same vicious circle.
Do you see the last century and the beginning of this one as Lebanon as a failed experiment?
Let's now go back to the realities. The war, as if it's a destiny for the Lebanese every decade or more, 20 years, to have a new war. And now this war might be, I said might be, without a political solution, might be endless.
Yeah.
So let's go back to war. The necessity of
But without
surviving.
a functioning state.
We still can function. We still
So the dysfunction continues to be functional.
Yes.
That can't be good enough. It's certainly failing people today.
We have to work on the ground, the available means that we have on the ground, waiting for maybe international aid in humanitarian aid. But
this is why everyone leaves, because they have no hope that the political class will change, that the situation with Israel will change, the economic situation. That's why everybody leaves. I mean, what's the message to young people? Why would they stay?
I have no message now. My main concern is how to be able to host adequately the refugees of the south part of Lebanon or of Lebanon. I have no other message. I mean, I don't have the time now to think about what you're asking. Sorry.
And you're thinking about people here?
People here, how to survive, okay, because people are, I'm sitting here in my apartment still, but I mean, other people have lost their homes.
Yes.
They have lost everything. How to give them an adequate answer for their security, for their basic security.
Yes, and in the past you've had the help of Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and other Gulf countries.
2006, yes. But in the past, the war was 33 or 34 days. Now it's almost a year.
Yeah. And the Gulf aid, do you anticipate it will come back to Lebanon?
I hope so. I don't know.
Yeah. That kind of aid usually comes with strings attached and demands.
No.
Progress.
In Qatar in 2006, there was no conditions. Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, well.
So you want aid from the Gulf?
Plus, I mean, the Iranians helped us, helped Hezbollah. Okay, but at that time they had money. No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Final question, Benjamin Netanyahu. There are some who say that this is just another ploy to stay in power. How do you view him?
I don't share your opinion that, well, he's in trouble. And even if he's in trouble, he doesn't care. He has the majority of the Israelis backing him. It reminds me of the conquer of Judea and Samaria at the time of the prophet Samuel. He said it somewhere. He mentioned Samuel somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is why I read part of the Bible. I said part. And I'm listening to conferences on the Bible. Strangely enough, we are back to 2,000 years ago.
Biblical times.
Yes.
Walid, thank you so much for joining me.
Please.